Our next guests have been named one of the hottest bands around. They combine a daunting array of musical styles and influences to produce a really signature sound.
This group of two classically trained vocalists and their DJ is redefining the music world one string at a time.
Joining us is Kev Marcus and Wil Baptiste, also known as Black Violin.
All right.
Thank you for being here.
I'm so excited
Thanks for
that you guys
having
are
us.
here.
Yeah.
So talented.
So tell us, you play the viola
Right.
and you play the violin.
Yes.
And when did you even start doing this, playing together?
We started in high school. You know, we're just regular kids, you know, in orchestra class, just playing violin, viola, and we've always kind of dabbled into the whole hip hop thing because it was fun. You know, it kept us into playing classical music, and it was always something that we kind of like made fun of, you know, to terms of like getting people to kind of like get hyped about
Right.
what we're doing. So it was always fun. It just kept us going, and you know, we're a product of our environment, man. Hip hop was such a huge part of our lives, so it was just natural for us to put the two worlds together, you know.
Yeah, and so for people who don't know, so you both play a string instrument and you combine that with hip hop beats.
Right, right.
Yep. I mean, it's really like, you know, like you said, it was in us. You know, we grew up in South Florida and we would always listen to hip hop at home, but we were studying classical music. So, you know, for a while there, we were doing them kind of both, you know, independently. And then when we started to put them together, people were like, wait a minute, like, you could put violins on hip hop beats? And then we're like, well, how can we make money with this? People like it. And then we've just been trying to like develop that craft, you know, ever since.
Did you think that it would get to this point? Because you have millions of followers.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, and not in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, you're grinding, you're working, you're trying to, you know, you're trying to make a name for yourselves. But I mean, as we continue to grow and as we continue to develop, and it just started we kept having reason to keep going, you know what I mean? So doors kept opening, and here we are in Pittsburgh for the second, third time, I think.
Well, the juxtaposition, when you hear those two styles together, it's so intriguing. And if you guys have not heard this before, we want to play a little clip because you need to understand what it is that they do. So listen. I love it. I could keep listening to that because it's just such a neat sound.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the big moments for you guys was Billboard Music Awards, right, with Alicia Keys.
Yes.
Like that really put you on a lot of people's radar, right?
Yeah, it was sort of the beginning. Like Alicia Keys was the first one to give us a shot. So, you know, back in the day, like when she just like started blowing up, we went on tour with her. We played the Billboard Awards with her, and it was the very first time we did anything sort of at a major level. And it was always great. Every time we see her, we always thank her for, you know, teaching us the humility. Like, you know, she's just so humble, so down to earth. And it was great to work with her first, you know, of all artists, because we got to see how you really do it, you know.
And so you've played with Linkin Park, Aerosmith. I mean, the list goes on. And I have to point this out. You guys don't look like what you would think a typical violin string player would be. And you use that, right?
That's the best part of it, you know. It's just that, you know, we don't look like like classically trained violinists. So when we step on the stage or we, you know, in the booth, it's just about like how do we change the people's perceptions of what is possible. So it's not just about entertaining, you know, it's about, you know, inspiring and challenging people to think about things differently, whether it's the violin or about who could play the violin or what music can sound like. So it's not just about the music.
How about kids? Are kids inspired by what you do and maybe want to try playing the violin and didn't think about it before?
Absolutely. You know, kids are our biggest fans. You know, the violin just has this energy about it. It's you know, ballerina music, it's boring or whatever. So we make it fun, we make it exciting. So kids are definitely like energetic doing our shows, and they definitely pick up the violin as soon as they're done, you know, seeing our show. So it's exciting to see.
And because of what you do, you're sort of bringing two musical worlds together. I would assume people in the audience, it's a wide array of people, right, that come to enjoy the shows?
Yeah, it's a very large demographic or no demographic, I guess, depending on how you say it. Because last night we were in Lexington, and, you know, when you look at the audience, it's just everyone. It's, you know, parents, grandparents, and kids. And then, you know, what we do is we try to make the musical experience something where you can watch an entire family, 3 generations stand up and dance to the same thing, and it's hard to find music or a concert experience that does that, and thankfully that's what we do.
Oh, I agree.
It's awesome.
Oh, good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And you can catch Black Violin performing tonight at the Byham Theater. The show starts at 7 o'clock.